good evening, good evening. It's April 2025. How we doing, Yabba?
Why are you asking me first? Where's the order?
Yeah, I thought I'd throw it. I thought I'd
All right.
confuse you.
I wasn't ready. Yeah, I'm doing all right. I've had I took a half day from work, walked out a bit early, and it's been a beautiful day. Sun's shining, and I walked the dogs and cooked up some big box of soup, and I'm ready for the agenda, man. Ready to talk about someone who's going to finish their dinner, like me. I finished my dinner, and we need someone tonight. We're going to select someone who's going to finish our dinner and score goals for us, because that's where we're lacking right now. So, yeah, looking forward to this show.
Talking about finishing your dinner, isn't it past your dinner time with this fasting thing you do?
I ate about 3 hours ago, so between 12 and 6.
God bless you. Dora, how you doing?
I'm doing good, thank you. I've been a bit under the weather for the last few days, but yeah, I've been doing good. Overall, not that bad. Yeah. Thank you for having me once again.
No, that's all right. Anytime. You don't even need an invite. Just click the link, and then you're always welcome. Bath time.
Hello.
How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm all right. I had a decent day. I ruined it a little bit by watching the first half of Forest United again.
Why? Why would you do that?
Because everyone told me that we played quite well, and I was really down on the performance. So I thought I'd go back and check. And surprise, I was right. We were really poor, and a lot of it's down to strikers.
You know what, BT? You're always the opposite. You know what? I say it's right now. It's night. You're going to say it's a day. You're always like this. Why are
you not? Unfair characterization. If it's daytime, I don't say it's nighttime.
Just kidding.
I can give you reasons why. What did you? We don't know what you thought of the game. Was that electric football we saw last night, Dora?
Look, I'm going to be honest with you. We lost. I watched that game, and then first of all, I was so detached by the end of the first half that I actually thought the first half was, that it has ended. But we had 6-minute injury time in the first half, and I was like, what is this 51st minute? We are still playing in I was in shock. That's how detached I was from the game at that moment in time. But honestly, there were some patterns of play that I liked in the first half. The passing, which I think that in the other games would work better. But I don't know. I was not happy with what I saw. I think that defense was okay, and I know people are going to, everyone jumped on everyone's back, on the players' backs because of that goal. I agree, but I think that overall the defense was good. It's just that attack is very concerning, and when you see those patterns of play, you think that they're going to do it for 90 minutes. They did it for 5 minutes in the first half, 10 minutes, and that's all. So yeah, I felt like we were doing the wind, we were trying to stretch them or whatever. It didn't work. And yeah, it didn't help that our wingers and wing backs or whoever, they don't know how to cross the ball. That's my issue. And on the other hand, they don't know how to cross the ball. We don't have anyone to go to attack those crosses, and that's a huge issue. We have on paper. We have Zirkzee, who is 190 centimeters big, or 6.23, whatever he is tall in your metrics. You have Højlund, who is fairly, even though he did okay when he came on, but again, you have what's his face. You have other guys who are very good with the headers and all that, and no one can hit those crosses, and no one can finish the dinner. So it wasn't electric in my opinion. When we lost, I saw Maguire in the number 9, and I was like, I just sighed, and I wasn't even fuming or everything. I was just okay with that loss. In all honesty, I didn't care at all, because I was so detached from that game after maybe half an hour. And that's concerning. And I think we need to ask Cameron some questions. And I said, I'm going to support him and all that, but the way we play, that's not how we want to play. Like, I don't care what anyone says. Forest, even though they defended throughout the whole game, they were very compact. They played better, and they are third currently in the league, and they are bleeding out the teams like us that cannot score throughout the whole season. That's their gameplay. They are better than us. And, to all people who are online saying, do you want to win with that type of football? Ew. Well, look at us. We are 14th. So take your pick, honestly. I just want to win. Like, I don't care how we play. And even though we are not even playing pretty, by the way. And we are, still 14th in the Premier League, which is atrocious.
I don't understand why you jumped on me when I said it wasn't a very good performance, and then you just gave us like
it was sarcasm. You know what, BT?
What?
Learn Balkan sarcasm. Okay, I wasn't serious. I was sarcastic. No, I was just joking because I watched the show from the last night today while I was working a bit. It was in the background and people were piling on to you for saying that. And I was like, okay. But I agree with you. It wasn't a good game. I wasn't happy with that game at all.
What do you expect Cameron to do with what he's got? Do you expect them to be better?
A bit, yeah. Because... Like, I know he didn't have a preseason. I think that his situation was very hard, very difficult. But everyone regressed Mr. B since he came in. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, I'm seeing some players that played okay under Ten Hag playing worse. And now we are finally seeing, like, someone like Bruno Fernandes, he had a few games where he started scoring and assisting. But besides him, who improved, really, in this team? And to me, that's a huge issue. And I know that he's trying, and I know this squad has issues, but you need to question him a bit. Not like I'm not piling on him, but you need to question what is going on, in that training ground, what are their tactics, their prep for these games, because I felt like we could have won yesterday at times. I think we had some good chances, especially by the end of the game. We could have equalized, but we couldn't even do that. Like, and it's so like, but yeah, I mean, we will see. Like, I wrote off this season months ago, even I think in November, now we have a Europa League, which I look forward to because I'm a fan at the end of the day. I cannot be, sad all the time, but this season is disastrous when you look at it. Like, we are 14th. Now it's 2nd of April. This is unacceptable for Manchester United. Unacceptable.
Would you prefer to win like the Europa League or for Croatia to win Eurovision?
I will take Europa League. Fuck Eurovision. Like, okay. I love Eurovision, okay? We were a little second last year at Eurovision, okay? But United is United, okay? I want that Europa League. I want us to get that Champions League money so we can buy a freaking striker. I cannot take it anymore. Balls bouncing off people like they are brick walls, missing sitters, putting those crosses or shots in the row Z. Like, no, I want us to win that Europa League. And hopefully the players are, as hungry as I am for that trophy.
Oh, God. Let me just say a couple of houses before we go any further here. Matty Bassett is saying big up. Andrew is saying Cliff, Mary, Dean, and Wallace. I am going to assume that those are the names that he is calling us.
From some show.
I'm at a loss.
I have no idea. Cliff. Well, obviously, Dora, you're Mary. Unless he's unless he's calling bath time, Mary. I don't know. Andrew, you just come up with some stuff, bro. You don't even have to explain it. We just know you're weird. It's cool. We accept it, innit? It's normal. Stephanie, how are you? I hope you're doing well. Who else is in the house? Simon, greetings to the Carry On team. Did you have a good day? Yeah, the sun was out.
Is that who it was then? Are those people from the Carry On films?
Greetings to the no. Wallace wasn't in the carry on.
I don't think I've seen them. I've only seen his work with Gromit.
That's I know that cartoon, not cartoon, but yeah, cartoon animated film. Wallace and Gromit or
That's how
Yeah.
Harry Maguire moves at the number 9, like sort of stop motion.
I know that, but I don't know what is Carry On. So yeah.
Yeah, the old ones.
Mhm.
Let's have a look. Dora, the wingers were not that bad in the game in his opinion.
You mean wingbacks, right? In
Well,
in our yeah,
in our system, yeah.
in our system, yeah.
Let's have a look. Simon, Rashi doing the business tonight. Once again, he scores. He's annoying. He's enjoying his football at Villa. Let him stay. That's up to Villa. That's going to be really up to Villa, to be fair. Andrew, I was happy with Maguire at number 9. At least he showed he knew what he was doing. What? At least it showed he knew what he wasn't.
At least it showed he knew that what we were doing wasn't working.
Okay, right. Sorry. Yeah.
He exposed Amorim. Dun, dun, dun.
No, well, Amorim, he would have. Well, yeah. Look, I know. You're turning into anti. We just didn't. We just don't create enough. How much chances did you create yesterday? 24? 28.
28 shots.
I mean,
Yeah,
come on, man.
those aren't chances, though, are they? A shot doesn't go down as a chance.
Yes,
like,
especially when the Garnacho has 21 of them.
Yeah, like what clear-cut chance did we have? Maybe 2 for Maguire?
I think it was 6 shots on target out of the 28. But yeah,
there was the
Very
Bruno
few.
one, actually.
Yeah, the first half.
And then there was a header as well from Bruno.
And from Dorku in my that one that dinked off the post from Dalot.
Time him
The
out.
corner.
Right, it's Steph here or Matty Bassett. Time this mug out. Give him a 2-minute timeout. Absolute, like the king, this Messiah complex. He can fucking do one.
Oh God! Right, sorry for cutting you off. Sorry, my manners. Go on.
No, but I think Dalot hit a post from the corner. It was
No, it was Mount.
it was a header, wasn't it? From
Header.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like Delot hit the bar, didn't he? And Mount
Yeah.
hit the post.
Yeah. But
then
apart
again,
from that, it's
Like we kept trying that near post header, and that's one of the reasons we conceded from the corner. Like that's Bruno put it in that header, and then they go up the other end of the pitch. But
Now
I mean,
looking at the break, bath time.
Yeah.
Again, obviously you watched it again. It was Dorgu couldn't have stopped him. The only player that
Dorgu's
could have-
poor. Dorgu's poor in it. I'll tell you why. Because Garnacho, he doesn't bring him down, but he does enough just to slow him a little bit, and it allows Dorgu to get in front. And then Dorgu gives him too much space, and sort of like he's when Alanga shoots, Dorgu's in front of him, and he gives him too much time. Like it's like Dorgu's just like poor in it, and I really wish it had been Mazraoui there instead of Dorgu. It might be a kind of welcome to the Premiership, where you've got to just be at a higher level. You know, like you've got to expect them to be faster, stronger, take shots quicker. But Dorgu, he doesn't cover himself in glory there, but still, I'd love to see a better structure, and I'd love to see Garnacho just clean him out, or like Chiellini him or something.
Yabba.
Yeah, we discussed it yesterday. The same thing applies. I just think initially you can put stop to that. You sent that for a corner. Dorgu should have been, our goal side of Alanga before he started his run from deep. And he could have stopped him, slowed him up there. It didn't have to be like that, but he was parallel with him, and he allowed him to get a few yards ahead, and he could never catch him after that, even though he did actually get in front. But he did try to stop the shot. I thought the shot was a bit weak. I still think that Anana could have got there, but it is what it is. It's happened. It happened so fast. And it's something we need to ensure, to have that insurance in any kind of situation like that. Even if we're attacking a corner, we need to have insurance. And I don't think we set up too well. And sometimes you can be a bit naive and not realise that in the space of 9 seconds it took him to run 80 yards with the ball, they can go the other end and score. So, and that's what they're about, really.
Yeah, but you said that he's like level with him.
Yeah.
Like taking out the organisation and all of that kind of stuff. If you're a defender and you're level with an attacker, do you have to do more there to sort of like slow him down by making some sort of contacts, like getting your arm across him? Or
well, you can see even though one was dribbling with the ball and one was like just having to sprint, he couldn't get there. He had a bit of you can see it was like a bit of a shock initially. He doesn't know Elanga, does he? Actually, Sweden and Denmark, so he doesn't really know Elanga, and I think it was a bit of a rude awakening for him when he realised, right, I'm fast, I'm Dorgu, I can recover, and he couldn't recover, and this guy was driving away with the ball, and he couldn't catch him until he reached Garnacho and had to sort of get out of that manoeuvre, and then he could get there. But it was a bit of a shock, and like you said earlier, I just think maybe it's a welcome to the Premiership moment where he just had to realise he needs to do his homework on certain people. Everyone knows, like Ahmed Traoré, he's a fast swinger, big and strong. Because you can actually see in the tunnel, this guy's built like a bouncer, and
he looks like a centaur.
Exactly.
Half horse, half.
Yeah. Mixing DNA and creating a machine like that. But I just think with Elanga made a statement the other day. I don't know how you guys feel about it. He says, I'm the fastest guy in the Premier League. And everyone thinks it's Traoré, and everyone does these readings of speed readings and that kind of thing. But if you can run away from someone at a level, Dorgu's quick with the ball as well, imagine what you can do without the ball if you just said, let's do sprints. I remember a few years ago, Keith Curl, this is like maybe late 80s, early 90s.
Years ago.
Yeah, Keith Curl, they had a top-tier division sprint contest on grass with probably boots on and that kind of thing to find out who the fastest player in the league was. And all these guys, I think Danny Wallace was there. I remember Keith Curl, the defender from Man City, he won it over 100 meters, and I'd like to see that sort of format again. I'd like to see, because rather than these numbers,
like a sports day.
Yeah, like a sport end of the year.
They did that for Shoot magazine. I'm sure we've had this conversation before. They used to get
we have. But I think they should do it again because it's just intriguing, isn't it? I wonder who the fastest is. I know in American football, when you do your trials or something, they do the 40-yard dash. And exercises, and these things are massive out there. They really get into it. I would love to see like the.
Would you prefer that to the Charity Shield? Like if there was a kind of sports day at Wembley with
like a Premier League combine, they call it like the
Premier League superstars.
Americans call it like those practices. They call it combines before the
combines.
Especially before the draft, before they draft those kids from college to the NFL.
That's
so
right.
they are measuring them and all that. So imagine a Premier League combine.
So who do you think would be the? Do you agree then? Do you agree that Elanga would be one of the fastest if they?
I think Van der Ven is up there.
Over 100.
Because he's tall. Because he's tall as well. Like,
but I was shocked, like how powerful Elanga was in that run with the ball. Like really impressive. But here's one for you, right? If we had to do 400 meters relay with 4 players from like our squad, I'm not allowing Tom Heaton, Casemiro in this. Like, who would you pick as the best players, like 100 meters?
For 100 maybe.
What, 4 by 400?
400.
Yeah, 4 by 400.
Bruno.
There's drills they do, professional teams. They do drills like in the summer. They go to the athletics track and they do 70 seconds of 400 meters with I think it's like a 20-second rest. And you have to keep up, and that's not easy to do that. So 400 meters is a real test for a footballer if you can do that. Thierry Henry, you look at him, you think he's a sprinter, but he was a 400 meter runner. He had a great time. I think he ran about 48 seconds, 49 seconds for 400 meters. So for me, I'm an athletics fan, big time. I would go from what we got in our current squad, I would go for 400 meters. I would go Maz. I would go Dallo. I would go Bruno and Dorgu.
No Ahmad, no Collier.
They're sprinters.
Ugarte.
They're more sprinters. I don't think they have the stamina.
Collier's not a sprinter, is he?
Who?
Collier.
He
Toby
flies.
Collier.
He goes up and down the pitch like a sprinter.
Yeah, I don't know. He's a good cross-country runner, probably. But at 400 meters, you need to be maintained 3/4 pace all for each 100 meters. So, yeah, that would be my... I'm sure you guys could add a few, but that would be my 4x4.
Do you think we'd finish last, like in the Premier League, if like squad versus
100%.
squad? I think we would as well.
Yeah.
Come on, man. You've got Southampton. Come on, man. I'm sure they run faster. They run further than Southampton. We'd probably be in the same position we are in the Premier League now.
I don't know, but it just shows how poor like a squad is. Like, I mean, obviously you're not building a squad for the 400-meter relay, but it's something that like what would we win in the Olympics as Manchester United? What would we win? Onana ain't winning the hammer. He'd throw it the wrong way.
I think when you look at Harry Maguire, he might win shot put or something like that. He's a big, strong lad, isn't he? Beyond that, I'm just looking. Great dancing.
Oh my God!
They have that
like that Australian
Casemiro. The amount of time he spent.
Oh God, yeah. Do you remember that?
Yeah, unfortunately, we all do. I forgot her artistic name. Oh my God.
Reagan.
Oh.
Oh my God.
Maybe Delete could win the wrestling or Maguire, but I doubt it.
Yeah.
Oh, we're hopeless.
I mean, it says a lot because we are creating hypothetical situations for our squad. If they would beat the other teams, all that, and we don't have belief in them, and I think that's a huge issue. What I know is that Luke Shaw would probably fast eating context or something. He would be in America and he would And I know it's
get used
rude.
to seeing Luke Shaw, Dora. He's coming back and he's going straight into that team for at least 20 minutes. He's not
saving himself for June and League Nations or whatever for England. Too bad.
Do you think he'd get in though?
Where, in England?
No, in the Manchester United team. Like, because he's training again. He's
think
probably
so.
2 or 3 weeks away.
I think so. I think even though Amorim, I think he knows he needs a left-footed centre back in that back three, and I think he will put him there immediately.
I'm not so sure. I think Ratcliffe comments do you remember he maybe you didn't see this actually, but in the summer, when England went to the Euros, they got loads of celebrities to record good luck messages. And one of the celebs was Ratcliffe. And his message was, "Good luck, England. Luke Shaw, please don't pull your hamstring." And then Luke Shaw, first game he came back, pulled his hamstring. And I think that Shaw has got a lot to do to get in that team.
Do you even believe? I don't know what's his how do you say it, contract situation. I know that he got that one 2 years ago or something, after that first full season after so many years when he was good, and he signed a new contract for enormous amounts of money. I don't know what's his contract situation. Do you believe? I don't think the club is going to extend him, in all honesty. I think I can see a situation where Luke Shaw is leaving for free from the club. And that's, to me, I have the biggest Luke Shaw agenda. I think he's one of the most overrated United players ever. And I know people are going to say, "Oh my God, you are rude, blah, blah, blah. He was injured." Honestly, I don't care. I respect Phil Jones more than Luke Shaw at this moment in time. Honestly, that guy, after, how do you say it? After rejecting playing for United and constantly choosing England over the club when the club needs you, like I'm not having it. I think that's such a poor behavior from a football player. And honestly, like the way he plays, I don't like. He never fully developed. 2 assists in 3 seasons or whatever.
Would this be allowed in Croatia? Like, would a footballer playing in the Croatian league who only really turns up for the national team, is that something that you get in other countries?
From our perspective, I think most of the people, I don't know about the hardcore Dinamo Zagreb or Hajduk Split fan. I think Hajduk Split fans love their club more than the country. Like, I'm not going to generalize, but a lot of people do. But if they choose to play for the country over the club, they would be praised. But that's our culture, right? That's it's not like Dinamo Zagreb is playing in the Champions League finals or whatever. Like, if they are playing for Real Madrid, if Luka Modric in his prime chooses to play, if he's an average player, right? But he's good for Croatia, but he's an average player in, I don't know, playing, for example, for Spurs. If he chooses to play for country over Spurs, that would never happen. I don't think that would ever happen. If he played for Dinamo and or for a Croatian club and chooses to play for the country, they would say, our people are going to say, oh my God, that's amazing, blah blah. This, people don't understand that these superstars, they of course they love their country and all that they want to play, and they are getting money to play for their country as well. People forget that they get money from the FA to play for their countries. They don't like if they are playing, if they are elite footballers and they choose country, like their club are going to do. Like, do you think Fiorentino Perez cares for who are you? If your country, needs you in the qualifications for Euros or something, like he doesn't care. You need to go to Real Madrid and play in that first team. So I'm not sure. I get it. Maybe people are going to think, oh, maybe this is a bit hypocritical, blah blah blah, because in Croatia is different, blah blah. He did it many times. Like, if it's not like he's playing for Preston, or I don't know, Ewell Town. He's playing for Manchester United, and he's a very important player for his, making lots of money. He's earning huge salary. You need to be available for your club, and he isn't. In most important situations, he isn't. Apart from maybe 2-3 seasons, and that's a huge issue. Like, it's not like England is feeding you; your club is feeding you. So to me, that's a huge issue. If I skip work to go to church or something for a mass, I'm going to get
for
fired.
Harry Mass.
Yeah, like, you get where I'm coming from, right? I mean, I get the
priorities
and all that, but you need to be available for the club that is employing you. And to me, the international football qualifications and all that, that's just, to me, that's just, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter.
I feel like I think that Luke Shaw has kind of eroded his like broken leg situation, because I used to be a massive fan of him after he broke his leg in some Europa League game. It nearly got chopped off and stuff, and I felt as a club we supported him and things, and that, like, after that I was all right with his injury record, because it's a bit of a miracle, to be honest, that he's playing. And the least I expect from Manchester United players are to basically die on the pitch. So perfectly happy with that. But it was, and also I'm all right with them going to a home like football tournament. Like, so the Euros in 2020, sorry, in the UK, that's a once in a lifetime like event. And I wasn't that pissed off with Rashford going, because you got a great chance as the home team to win it. But
context matters. Context matters. Yeah.
But it's the fact that he went to the one in Germany or wherever it was, that was absolutely ridiculous. We needed him at the end of the season. And I always remember Ten Hag said there were a couple of players that play through injury and that was Maguire, McTominay, and Evans, I think. And Shaw basically bottled it because he wanted to be fit for the semi-finals of the Euros. And that's kind of the last straw with me. Like, that broken leg stuff has gone yabba.
Yeah, it's been 9 years or what? Like it's been 7 years or 9 years. I don't even like. I was in university. I was in the second year of uni. I'm almost 30 now. That's how long it was. I was 21. Like, and he like, oh my god, but he's injured. Like, okay, cool. The club supported you. You've been out for almost 2 seasons. It was a difficult injury, but you need to move on. Like, you need to move on. Like, and we need to move on. We should have moved on. We shouldn't give him that less contract. He should have been sold or let go on a free. And that's a club's issue once again. And okay, cool. He won some things for us. He played well at times for us, but you need to let go. We need to let go, and the club needs to let go. And honestly, I'm at this moment in time in my life, like, I will have sympathy for you, but I cannot have always sympathy for you because you didn't warrant it, unfortunately. And I sound like a heartless B word right now, but honestly, I don't care. Like, this club has been, but yeah, enough about Shaw. Like, I don't have energy to discuss this man anymore.
All right, look, we drifted on to Shaw, a player who we probably feels not going to play for us anymore. We could talk about 5 players who none of them are probably going to play for us. They're probably going to play against us. But
in what?
It's maybe FIFA. Because it definitely won't be Champions. Well, you know what? It could be Champions League, to be fair. But look, obviously, the lap is on our radar. We've got Osimhen, who's my favorite. We've got Gyökeres. We've got oh fuck me, the one from
Etetike.
Yeah.
Where is he playing? I don't even know that guy. I'm sorry.
Frankfurt striker.
Frankfurt.
Very good.
Yeah, he's half decent, to be fair. And Mateta from Crystal Palace.
I like him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll start with you, Dora.
Yeah.
Mateta, talk to me. Talk to us.
Well, besides the fact that he always rinses us when he's playing against us, I think he's a very good player. I'm not sure about his age. I think he's in the mid
28 in the summer, I think.
20, okay.
Yeah, he's in the, like, I know people are going to say, and maybe the club wouldn't want a guy that is close to 30s. I know that they had a vision of, signing 24-year-olds or younger players, which is kind of like a rebuild or whatever, which is to me
the Leonardo DiCaprio philosophy.
Yeah, United are doing a Leo DiCaprio. But I mean, I think at this moment in time, I think we have first of all, we have a player in Hoyle who is he's not a finished article. I don't think that in this, and we have Chido Obi, who is a very young player who needs a lot of time to develop, even though he looks very promising. I think we need to nurture that, progression. I think we need someone who is ready-made in the Premier League and who is going to be good enough to score goals, and who is going to be good enough and little enough in that final third, right? Because we have issues, right? We are too toothless. No one from our Zirkzee is too passive in the attack in terms of he would always pass first, then score goals, and Holland just doesn't put himself in situations too often to score in those situations. And I think Mateta is big, he is strong, he has a good hold-up play, he is quite fast for a big guy that he is, and I think he's very good, clinical enough to warrant a start in the Premier League team. I know he's playing for Palace, who are a below us. He's currently 15th, which is it is what it is. But
They're
you know,
above us.
oh, great, they are now above. Oh, yeah, they are. Oh, you are absolutely right. Yes, they are above us, so they are better than us. But yeah, I mean, I think that type of striker is very needed at United currently. We have two polar opposites currently, which who don't mesh well in this team, and I think Mateta would be a good start to actually balance that attack because we have so many issues, and I think his presence is going to be. I think it only can improve this team. He has Bruno behind him. If sign one more midfielder who is going to provide those chances to him, and I think he would cook, as Gen Zer said, he would cook. But yeah, I like him as a player. I think that we should look for some not youngsters anymore. I think currently this team needs someone who is going to balance this ship and provide some kind of experience that is Premier, especially in terms of the Premier League, because we need a Premier League striker. We don't have it currently, unfortunately.
See, I would have said Mateta for a different reason, but I'll let you that one. I'll let you know that
Yeah,
one. Yeah,
why?
well, I just think he's probably been the cheapest option.
Yep.
Oh, that as well. That's a green light for me as well.
Yeah, I just think he'll cost. I don't know what he'll cost. He's got a year left on his contract, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you're
And
looking
he signed for like 15 million.
So you're looking at what, 25 mil, maybe.
Mm.
30 mil maximum if he's only got a year and he's at Crystal Palace. They can't demand that much. I can see it being Mateta walking straight into the club as our first signing of the summer, and then they hold on to Rasmus because he's maybe a slightly different profile, and maybe he'll learn from Mateta in training about how to bloody hold the ball up. I'm not I don't have a problem with Mateta, but I just think that's the level that we're at. Yabba.
I brought Mateta up like maybe a month ago, and I remember your reaction was you were quite surprised that people that myself and others in chat were saying that that's a perfectly reasonable signing. Have you why have you turned around on him as a player?
No, I haven't turned around him as a player, but
okay.
I look at the profile of player that maybe we should be getting. Maybe my chest is too high, and I think United are a higher standing. For us to be getting Crystal Palace's main striker, I just it's not like we're going to get Eze. Then okay, fine, we go to Crystal Palace and get one of their better players, but I just think it's price orientated. Bath time. Honestly, I have no problem with him as a player, but where does he take us? Really, we're not going to sell him
to the mid-table.
Well, okay, yeah. Do you know what? Yeah, he will take us. To be fair, he will take us higher than Rasmus, but is that he just?
I mean, Zirkzee and Rasmus since December combined have scored 2 goals. That's 4 months.
God. Oh my God!
Oh really?
I cannot say.
Yes. Sorry, 1 goal. So it's 1 goal. Then combined for 4 months is 1 goal.
Dwight York and Andy Cole, if they combine 2 legs, they would score more goals, decapitated, than these two. I swear to God. I am. Oh my God.
That's why I'm not poo-pooing Mateta.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what's going through that brain of yours there, mate?
So yeah, regarding Mateta, I mean, Dora gave some great points about him. He's proven in the Premier League. He's very big and strong. He's got pace. She mentioned all those things, ticking boxes. I don't know about his mentality. I know he came through the French. I think he was at Lyon at one stage as well. Came through the French teams and just ended up. Vieira obviously had his eye on him, brought him through, and he's done really well. Didn't blow up initially, but he's slowly grown into his position. He's probably peak years right now, playing at Palace. He's 27, as BATHTIME was saying earlier, coming on 28. He's in his peak, in his prime. He knows the Premier League. And the main thing for me, he's a difficult customer. He's someone who will occupy defenders. For example, yesterday, he would give those 2 centre-backs who were really strong bullish guys. He'd give them hell and give them something to think about, and that will open up opportunities for someone else. So I like the idea of it.
Mhm.
I understand where Mr. B's coming from. We're used to sort of high-profile players, but sometimes you have to get your bread and butter. And I remember when Fergie came in, he was buying Mike Phelan, Steve Bruce, Gary Pallister, Viv Anderson, all experienced, sort of not superstars, but just players that would give the team some strength and character. And Mateta, he's a good player. But I'd like to talk, there's a list of players you reeled out at the start. Mateta, if we're going through and we're just touching on him right now, he would be like that for me, almost like that, but like that. I want to talk about the other players though.
Yeah.
Which
No,
ones?
we're not going to now. We're going to end the show just to spite you. All right. Oh, obviously the lap. Yeah, so we'll get to the ones you want to talk about in a minute. Obviously the lap. Is that
We are linked to that guy.
Yeah, ex Man City. He scored 10 goals in a relegation threatened team. His hold up play is definitely better than Rasmus's, but there's a lot of things that he does better than Rasmus. If they get relegated, they're saying 40 mil. I'm going to assume that Man City have maybe a clause in there that gives them a little bit of a sell on. So they're not gonna sell him for cheap. I have no idea what they paid for him. But I suppose they're gonna want to make at least a little bit of profit and to put a striker to get him out of the Division 1 again is it the Championship next season. Again, I think this is a price one. With the lap, I'm not sure why he's been put on the radar, put on our radar, but what we're thinking about the lap. Silence.
Okay, I'll start on this one. Look, the guy's proven. He's highly rated. Son of Rory Delap, ex-pro.
Is he?
Yeah. Just a shout out, talking about father and son combinations, as I was mentioning earlier. Danny Mills.
Eddie Howe, innit?
All right, yeah, I was proven right on that one. Danny Mills, his son, is a professional athlete, and he ran Bridgestone really close in the indoors recently. So his top pro, Danny Mills, and his son is now a top athlete, running mile, 1,500, 3,000 meters. So yeah, Roy Delap, his son's plays football, big and strong. Hold up play, similar to Mateta. But for me, if you score 10 goals in a relegation team like that, you got something about you. Because you think to yourself, you're down there at the bottom of the league, you've won 3 games all season, but you're still getting goals. Are you dominating games in a relegation team? So if you score a lot of goals in a relegation team, I think, there's something about you. The good thing for me, what ticks the box, he's young, and he's someone with a good future. We've seen what Morgan Rogers and all these other guys from Man City Academy have gone on to do. I think he's a Premiership player. It would be disappointing for him if he goes back down to the Championship. I think it's a good opportunity to buy him. That's why I would just peak him ahead of Mateta based on his age and the potential what he could be in the future.
Should we be buying? Should we buying players for the future? Yeah, but it's not being funny.
How old is Liam Delap?
21.
Oh, he's like Holland.
Yeah.
22.
All right, 22.
Okay.
I mean, what are we doing? What are these young players going to get? We're going to get no consistency, and then we'll find faults in his game again, like we do with -9, and then we're back to square one again, asking for an experienced striker. Surely that's the position where we need somebody who knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
I kind of agree, because Delap has played 98 games of senior football, men's football, and he scored 22 goals.
Made that 23 because he just scored today to beat Bournemouth 2-1. Sorry.
All right, well, that changes everything. Well, yeah, but the thing is, right, is that he's also played, basically for England since he's been 14 or something. He's obviously He's obviously a good player, but I have to say I'm more on the side of Mr. B here, where I think that what we need with like a lot of the young players in our team, the Heavens, the Yoros, the Kobes, all of this, it's like what you had with every good Manchester United team is you had like a blend of youth but with experience, and I think that we're dearly lacking for experience at the top end of the pitch. And so for me, I'm not sure I would go for Delap because I'm pretty burned by Rasmus and burned by waiting for strikers to get ready. I think that we should get as near as the finished article as possible at the moment, because we've got to get up that table. And I don't know, like, if Delap kind of like is going to be reliable enough. You suspect you'd have to take him out of the team every once in a while because he's a young boy with only 1 year of top football behind him. It would probably be a no from me. I'd go for Mateta over Delap at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, my 20. What? How do you say? Do you have sense or how?
It's my 2 cents.
My 2 cents. Yeah. Sorry. I'm not very versatile in your idioms or however you said, but I watched, like, I haven't watched that many Ipswich games, in all honesty. I watched them, I like what I saw from him. I think he's a cunt a bit, which we need. I think he's a little shit. Like, I need that mentality. I need that mentality. Immanuel Kant, the philosopher. You know what I mean by that.
I would never have expected that word to have come out of your mouth, Dora.
I mean,
me neither.
I see you in a completely different light. I actually think I love you now, Dora.
Oh, thank you. Look, I can be very polite, but I can be, a bit of a,
sweaty loud.
Yeah, which isn't like, you should have seen me when I'm speaking Croatian and watching games, like, not over the top, but I have a potty mouth sometimes. But aside from that, I like his mentality. I like the way he is. The way he is, he's very, like this, he wants to fight. And I think we need that kind of mentality in the team, someone who is going to frustrate the opposing defenders. What I like about him as well is that he's strong, he's very rapid. He actually reminds me with the way he moves like Harvey Barnes, which is very strange. I don't know what is up with English, young strikers or attackers. He sometimes looks like a bulldozer, when he's running at you, and I think that's a very good sign of a player, especially in the Premier League. Now, he's not a finished article. That's my issue, and I don't think he scored enough goals. I think that if we get him, he will be an upgrade, over Rasmus, and I would say even Zirkzee, because he doesn't score. But still, I agree. I get where Vermont is coming from. I think he would be a good signing for us, or even great, maybe. But I just think that we need experience in that attack. I think we have so many, green players in that attack that don't know how to put themselves out there and showcase that leadership, I would say, because that confidence. I think this team lacks, especially attack, lacks confidence and less. They just don't have that confidence and leadership to push, or to lead the team towards that, to score goals and everything else. So, yeah, I like him, but I think, what's the issue with English strikers to me, especially since I've been, watching the Premier League for a very long time right now, but we always we always hype up those young English strikers and all that, and then in the end of the day they end up at Fulham or somewhere and they just stay there. And I wish him all the best. I hope that he gets a good good transfer somewhere, But yeah, I'm more on a more experienced striker train. So I agree. Sorry, I agree a bit with Mr. B and last time.
So what is that? One of these or one of these?
Well, like you with Mateta, that's me with Liam Delap.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are we moving on to the slightly more expensive signings now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, we'll just move on to look, we'll do the Jokeres one.
Oh.
Obviously, that was our dream once we realized Amarin was coming. A lot of clubs' dreams, to be fair. Obviously, agreements are made between players, agents, and clubs. Obviously, we weren't allowed to go in for any of their players during the January transfer window. We wouldn't have been able to afford them anyway, unless we were paying them with jelly babies anyway. But at the same time, there is an interest from the club. Arsenal now are maybe top of that queue now that they've got their their new director of football. Is it director of football they've got in?
Yeah, he has a girl's name, Andrea. I mean, he's Italian. Andrea B something.
Berto?
Yeah,
Berta? Yeah.
Berta. He
Yeah.
has 2 women names as his full name.
So let's hope this I was gonna say something, but I won't. Hopefully he's not as good as his job as he wants to be.
Yeah. Hopefully he signs another Basque midfielder.
Yeah, let's hope he flops. But look, Arsenal are interested in Jokeres. They've got a space for him in the team. They've got the money to buy him. Are we out of this race, considering that he might have had a gentleman's agreement with Amarin?
100%. He's also got an Arsenal tattoo. Like,
God.
True.
he's got. Yeah, that's true. He's got an Arsenal tattoo.
Where his ass cheek.
I think, I know Matty Bassett loves him and so on, but it's pie in the sky. You can say like Isaac and you can say Jokeres. There's no way that we've got the financial firepower to go out and get them, and we don't have Champions League at the moment to offer them. So, it'd be nice to have someone like Jokeres in the team and knows the system, but there's not a chance that we're going to get him.
Yeah, I just want to say, I was just looking at his stats: 59 appearances for Sporting, 59 goals, and 26 caps. So you think? And I did sort of question mark. I was like, well, it's Portuguese league, maybe one of the top 3 sides in Portugal. You're going to score goals. A lot of guys do. But then I looked at his international record, and he's only got 26 caps for Sweden. Guess how many goals he's got? What do you think's fair?
20.
What, 26 caps? I would think 10.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I'll say I would go with 10. I don't.
It's higher than that. He's got 15 goals. Not so much 20 there, Dora, but
that's fine.
So for me, that suggests to me that maybe he has got something about him. It's not just about the Portuguese league. To score 15 international goals in 26 caps, that's a good rate. That's something it's very impressive. So I think he's clearly got something about him. I've always had a question mark about him. I wouldn't want to spend huge money on him. I know we've been linked with him because of the connection with our manager, but it's a no from me. I think Delap and Mateta are more realistic signings at this current stage.
Realistic being the operative word, yeah, and not better.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I agree with Omondi. I think that, I don't know. I mean, I think he's also right. 26, 7, 8, whatever he is. Like, I think he's a bit younger than Mateta, but it's not even the age, right? He is scoring like he is, when he scores when he wants, which is insane, even for any league in the world. But it's just, I don't know. I don't think it's realistic. I don't even know if Arsenal are going to sign him or whoever. I just don't believe that we are going to get him. I think they are going to demand insane amounts of money. If Ratcliffe and the company, if they want to listen to Amorim, and I don't want this to be another situation where we always say, the way the club operated during Ten Hag's era and his signings, he really wanted this guy, right? He really wanted Anthony. He really wanted, these kinds of players, and then we overpay them, and then they flop. And I'm not saying that Gyökeres is going to be another Anthony or another Casemiro after good first season. 70 mil for a 30-year-old, that's a lot of money. But I don't want us to be in a situation where we overpay, and we are going to probably pay around 80 mil for this guy, and he comes in and scores, 10 goals. And I know maybe it's too harsh because he's obviously better than what we have, but it's just like, once again, we have such a bad track record with these kinds of signings. And on the other hand, we have, I agree with Omondi in terms of, we don't have the money, right? We are only looking for signings. Since Ratcliffe came in, we are looking for signing, except maybe Ugarte, who cost 60 mil. We signed everyone under 50 mil. We signed Zirkzee for 30-something, 40. We signed De Ligt and Mazraoui for 40. We signed Dorgu for 20 million. We are looking for those kinds of signings, and I don't believe that we are going to pay for Gyökeres 80 million euros. So yeah, I don't think it's realistic.
Boy, it's this list isn't really helping us, is it?
Yeah.
So, yeah. We'll bring this down.
Like
I assume your fingers, your thumbs down as well, then, right?
Yeah, I just I think when I think about Delap and Gyökeres, with Gyökeres, I remember a player called Baz Dost that played for Sporting who had better figures than he did. Hasn't made it at Brighton, did all right at Coventry. And Liam Delap, I'm always scarred by a player called Connor Wickham, who used to play for. Do you remember him, Yabba? Like barrel-chested, he was sort of a bit like Rooney in the
Fulham, Ipswich.
Yeah, I just these profiles worry me a little bit. I think that the two that we're looking at, the next two to come up are the real ones I'd like to land.
Okay, well we'll go with Osimhen first.
Mm.
He's my favorite. He's the one that I want to get. He's the one I still hope that we've got a chance of getting. I don't know. No other club seems to be too interested in him. He said he wants to come to the Premier League. There's rumours, paper talk that he would come to United even without Champions League football. I don't know if that means just Europe. Although if you say United, he knows that we've got no European football next season unless we obviously win the tournament that we're in. He would be my favourite. A year left on his contract at Napoli. A player, a striker with. I think we need a striker with a bit of personality. I think out of all of them, I think he looks like the one who's got the biggest personality. He would be my favourite. But what are you guys' thoughts?
Go BT.
I mean, he is the best quality striker that I think we can get. We've had he seems a bit troubled and so on, and hasn't really sort of found a home. But you could say that about Eric Cantona, to be honest. He's got nice Sydney. He's got everything you want from a striker. He is really good at all phases of play. It's just his character and his motivations you question, but he's the best available, and I think it would be an electrifying signing if we could get him in. So I'm firmly in go and get Osimhen, because I think the only two realistic signings are Osimhen and Mateta. And Osimhen is a different level. to Mateta.
Yeah, I second that. Just to back up what you're saying there, a thumbs up from me. I think he's proven. You asked what he's done. I mean, in his short career, he's quite young still. Napoli, he's won them the title, scored a lot of goals in Serie A. It's hard to score goals in Serie A. Because he's got physicality, because he's got pace, because he can score with his head, he can score unorthodox goals as well. He'd be a trouble. He'd be a problem. And like you said, with so he's a bit of a maverick. He would be a fan's favourite. And I think it would be a good signing. And I'd be really excited if we did get someone like him, especially where we're at right now. He would come in and be the catalyst to sort of change. Because for one, we need to score goals. This is someone who can score goals. And I think that would really help us progress.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's a great footballer. Maybe Big G is saying that no, because he'll want 300K a week. Like, maybe that's not the case. Like, I don't know how much money he is earning at Serie A. I know he signed that contract or whatever. Like, I think that Napoli wanted to sell him. I think they missed their chance to sell him for 150 mil or whatever the ridiculous price tag that he had 2 seasons ago or season ago. I don't think the club is going to be, what we are going to give you. I don't think so. Like, if he gets 180K a week from the club, I think that would be a massive award for him. And if they stick to their guns, right? Even when Murto or when Ten Hag came in, he said that during the Murto era and everything else, they said that they would want their players to earn less, like the whole salary, like cap or whatever you want to call it, it will be capped at 200K a week. We are not going to give it anymore. And then Rashford got a contract for 300K a week, which is insane. But yeah, hopefully they stick to their guns. I don't believe that he's going to, can come here and be a sheriff from New York or something. I think he has a personality. I think there is a bit of a worry, but I don't think he's going to be immediately, like, he needs to prove himself. Like, this is his big break, right? He's coming to the biggest or most popular, most physical league in the world. He knows that he's going to have a payday. He's going to get sponsors here, even more than he already have. What nationality he is?
Nigerian.
He's Nigerian. Many United fans are from Nigeria, right? He knows, like, this is his, big break. He's going to want to succeed here. I think that, there are some kind of, suspicions or red flags, if you want to call it. I wouldn't even call it red flags or concerns, yeah. But I think he would be a massive signing for us. I don't know how. I think he's free in the summer, or he has one contract year left on, or whatever. Mr. B, you're muted. I don't know what you said.
He's got 1 year left. He's got
1 year left. So he will probably, like, realistically, if Napoli aren't as selfish as they are, they wanted Garnacho. Maybe we can exchange something. Maybe we give them Garnacho and then we get Osimhen for 30-40 mil. I would take it, honestly.
Hold on. He's got a year left on his contract.
Yeah.
We're going to give them 30 mil plus Garnacho.
Do you don't think that they are going to, like, this is Italia? Oh my God, I sound like a Croatian. This is
You are Croatian.
Yes, I know. That's why this is, we are speaking in English right now. This is Italy. They want money. They don't have money. They would want money from.
They owe us money, though.
They owe us money, but they don't care. They're going to rinse us because they have a leverage. We need a striker. They like Italians. I know them really well. Trust me, they will, try to squeeze you out as much as you can, from this.
I think they want rid of him, to be honest. What was he doing at Galatasaray, like, on a loan, running his contract down? Like, I think they'll take a fair price for him.
Yeah, maybe that's the case. Maybe I'm.
What do you feel is fair, bath time?
Well, often 63 million is quoted as, like, his release clause.
Jesus, but that can't. I mean, we can't be getting.
Yeah.
Got shagged by Mason.
Yeah, isn't it Mount money? Wasn't Mount
Yeah.
a year on his contract and we paid 60 million?
Yeah, we spent 60 on him. I get it. Different level of player, different position, different profile. I understand it. But are we the only club that pays full price for players who have a year
We
left
did
on
with-
their contract?
This is what we had to do with Euro. We had to massively overpay in order to get him in.
During this era of football, right? During Ratcliffe era. So I'm not sure, but yeah, I would love him. By the way, I am thumbs up all the way with Osimhen, and I think the club knows. The club knows. Look, Nigerians love United. I met few, on this platform. They are great. I think this would be a massive boost for not just for the club, but I think on the pitch as well. I think he would have maybe few games that he's going to need to adapt, but I think he would be great for United. Hopefully Chelsea doesn't hijack this one as well, because I'm sick and tired of them. Because besides United, they are also linked with Osimhen. They want him as well, so they can buzz off.
But they didn't negotiate well with him like last summer. Like they had contract talks with him, and I get the impression that Todd Bowley, or whatever he's called, is a very, very petty man, because I'm fairly sure he tried to buy out Pedri's release clause or something, like when Barcelona beat them to, was it Koundé that would have gone to Chelsea and ended up at Barcelona?
Yes.
I don't think that they would want. I don't think Chelsea would feel good about going back in for a player that rejected them. That just doesn't seem to strike me as the correct thing.
I mean, they have I get it, but they have money, and this guy is signing every single player that is in the news. Like, I'm not even joking. Anyone who is even a bit rated, like, he signs them. He sees, oh my God, from Teen Magazine. Oh, who is this? Oh, I want him. He is just signing everyone he sees in the newspapers at this moment in time. So I'm scared of Chelsea. Like, I want us to prove that we still have some kind of significance in the transfer market. I don't want us to lose another player. And I know Kenta is Kenta, but everyone reported, Ornstein reported, all big news journalists reported he has, a verbal, deal with Amorim, blah, we are going to sign him, blah. And then all of a sudden, oh, look, he's, in the 2 a.m, Fabrizio Romano reported, in 3 a.m, no one was awake that he went to Chelsea. So hopefully we actually have some leverage and, we get him for at least a bit reasonable amount of money.
It won't be reasonable. I think we can get the deal done, but we have to pay the money, and it means selling Garnacho or Kobe, possibly both, to get it. Or, well, I suppose we've got Rashford money coming in, hopefully.
Yeah.
The best thing that could happen this summer, to be honest, is that we get Rashford sold in the first week of the transfer window and get that money into the club, because I've got a feeling that there's going to be like a kind of almost like a sort of House of Cards situation or dominoes, where we're waiting for where, we've got to sell players before we can buy players. And I just hope that we can get Rashford or Garnacho or whoever we're selling for the profit to just go as quickly as possible. And then we'll be able to look at like Etike or whatever he's called, and Delap and Mateta and Osimhen, and make a decent and considered judgment on who the best player would be. Because the longer it goes on, the more you're going to pay for Osimhen as we get more and more desperate in terms of wages and things. And I hope that that's beyond us.
I hope that's beyond. I don't. Something must happen. We can all keep our fingers crossed. Maybe there'll be people doing dances in the rain and other bits and pieces to get him coming to the club. Our last one on the list is the one that I can't say his name. Bath time.
Hugo.
Thank you very much. Hugo Ekitike. That's the one. Goal record pretty good. He was Mamouche's partner at Frankfurt, and he's carried on scoring once Mamouche's left. I would be really interested in him as a striker. I have no idea about the price. that's more the issue. I think he's more of a finished article, or further down the food chain than Rasmus. I believe we can't keep both of them at the club, just age profile wise. So maybe that would mean -9 getting sold as well, which would be music to my ears. What we feeling on Ekatike, and do you think that he could do the job?
Yeah, I do though remember Marcus Tell, who went to Spurs and did absolutely nothing with a decent reputation, a very similar background, like that kind of like French system that they've come up in. Hugo Ekatike looks like a very good player to me. He's quite similar, I think, to Alexander Isak at Newcastle, and you'd hope him sort of develop to those levels. But once again, you're paying that money more for potential than for the current reality, and I still have doubts if we're actually like improving players at the club. So I would love to get him in. I'd love Morata as well, but I'd love to get Ekatike in. He'd be a great signing and stuff. But he's someone that you got to sort of work with. Whereas Mateta and Osimhen, I think you can just slot them in the team and expect about 15 goals minimum a season off them. And imagine like what those 15 goals would have done this season when our two current strikers have scored 1 goal between them in 4 months. It's unreal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Hugo. I mean, he's got everything about him: tall, lean, striker, quite quick, scores with his head, and is a bit of a predator as well in the box. Can score all kind of goals. He was a young starter. He came through Reims Academy and started playing for them, and that's when he became like the new young starlet, and a few Premiership clubs were interested in him. And I think Newcastle were going to make a bid, but he turned them down and ended up going to Paris Saint-Germain, which was a bad move for him. I think it was about 30 million he went there for, 28 to 30 million. But it turned out to be a bad move because he wasn't even registered for the Champions League side, and he couldn't get in because at the time he had Messi and Neymar, and it was a really difficult time for him. So he ended up going to Frankfurt for 15 million, half of the price. And like you say, Dora and BATHTIME and Mr. B, you've all agreed that he's scoring a lot of goals out there at the moment. Frankfurt have been an interesting side. I don't know what project they've got, but over the last 5, 6, 7 years, they've been really good, haven't they? They got to finals. I think they won a European competition as well. And their business, they've done really good business as well. And obviously, they've just sold the Egyptian guy to City. So they're doing really well. So you expect them to sort of, if they are going to sell, which likely they will, because they have been known to be a selling club, they'll be making a profit. They spent 15 million on him. Maybe there's a clause that Paris will get something back because they sold him for half the price. But he's a good player, and I think he's a bit old. He's 23, but I think he would fit really well. And he's got the same kind of structure as Chido, tall, strong, rangy. They're like replicas of one another, but just that Hugo's a few years older. So I like that sort of kind of player. So for me, Hugo's gets a thumbs up, as well as Rory Delap because he's English. Those are the two that I would be kind of realistic about. So yeah, I'm all for it.
Who's your number one?
Probably be, if you're talking about like unrealistic, it would be Osimhen. But number one realistic, what I think could happen, would be Rory Delap. Not Rory Delap. That won't happen. His son.
I do love myself a long throw.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with Omondi on this one. Like, I watched a few times. He's very. I think he would, he would have to, adapt a bit. But I think with the way he is built and the way he plays, I think he would massively improve this team or that attack. And yeah, I would take him. And I think would love that signing. Young, fairly young, Leonardo DiCaprio young, and he has still he's kind of a finished article, but he isn't still like he's still progressing, but he can do the thing, he can impact the team immediately. So yeah, I am all for that. I'm thumbs up with, Mateta, Osimhen, and, Ekitike. I wouldn't mind any of those strikers.
Yeah, I mean, my number one, I think is Osimhen. The player that we're going to get, that I think, is going to be Mateta.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
I'd be very happy with. To be honest, I'd be happy with pretty much any of them. With the slight, I do. Delap is the bottom of the list for me because I think Chat Sport put something in the comments about why sell Garnacho and Mainu to just go and buy more potential.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really salient point, a well-made one. Mateta and Osimhen, I'd be pretty happy with. Mateta's obviously got Premier League experience, blah blah blah. I'd be happy with that, but we've got to get a striker in, and we've got to get someone who stretches the pitch and who can head a football. Like,
we need to get him in early.
Yeah, wherever it's always like July the 27th where we have our tour. Like, wherever we are there, he's got to be like in the squad for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, Osimhen number one, but it's going to be Mateta.
Yeah, I agree with you, Bath-Time. I actually do agree with you. And Bori, the lap would be would be my final choice. But look, we'll see what happens in it. We'll see what happens come summer. Well, not even summer. It'll probably be the winter window that they decide that they're gonna buy them. When they've flogged more of whatever they need to be selling. But it's been a long one tonight, longer than I anticipated. I can hear my stomach rumbling. So yeah, look, we're gonna lack a notch this out unless anybody else has got anything else to anything else they want to talk about.
It's lack a notch time, innit?
Thank you.
Yeah.
So it's good. Lack a notch from me.
So lack a notch from me.
Like a notch.
Lack a notch.